Hey, it's Cody here with my predictions for UFC 98. Still a little under the weather, but still going to do my picks. First fight here, David Kaplan versus George Roop. Gonna go with, I just don't like Kaplan. He was an asshole in the Ultimate Fighter 8. So I'm going to be rooting for George Roop and pick him. Roop seems like a nice enough guy, and someone I could actually get behind on this. So go Roop. Next we got Brandon Wolf versus Yoshiyuki Yoshida. And Brandon Wolf is that guy that fought Ben Saunders and got his ass kicked, and he had like a stupid tattoo over his chest of his last name, which is Wolf, and I don't think he's gonna win. So I'm gonna pick Yoshida. Yeah, Yoshida is gonna win, hopefully. Then we have Andre Gusamo versus Krzysztof Sozinski. And I'm going to go with Krzysztof. Seems like they're going to feed him a guy, so I think they're going to try to feed him Andre. And, stepping stone. They're giving him a stepping stone, and I think he has that fight. Alright. Kyle Bradley versus Felipe Nover. I'm going to go with Felipe. He's going to beat him, hopefully. Their stepping stone fight, I think. Then we got Pat Barry versus Tim Hague. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or whatever. It's Hague. Anyway, Pat Barry excites me. I like that guy. He's a stocky striker, and I don't know, there's something cool about those guys. They can really rough you up. They have the power behind all their striking that's scary. He may be too small, they're saying, for heavyweight, but I like people that try, a weight class above, and if you lose, you move down. Give some options. People that already are killing themselves to make a weight class, and when they lose there, what's next? I mean, you really kind of paint yourself in a hole there. So yeah, picking Pat Barry for the win. Brock Larson versus Chris Wilson. Gonna go with Brock Larson. I think he's gonna take down Wilson and submit him. Probably round 2. I respect Chris Wilson's skills, but I think Brock will overwhelm him, at least until by the second round. Then we got Frankie Edgar versus Sean Shirk, and this is the main card. I got Sean Shirk in this. Still too big, I think, for Frankie here. And he hasn't really slipped too much, I don't think. He's getting up there in years, but I think Sean still has some good years left ahead of him, and I think he'll get the win here. He's very similar to Gray Maynard, so he should be able to handle Frankie Edgar, bully him, as they say. Then we got Dan Miller versus Chael Sonnen. I think Chael Sonnen's kind of like, should be like a gatekeeper at middleweight, so I like him around here. I think they should keep him on just to be a gatekeeper. And I think, with that said, I think Dan Miller is slightly better than him. So I think Dan Miller will win. Then we got Xavier Fupa Pokum, whatever. What's with that name? Versus Drew McFreedy's. Pokum's supposed to be really good at striking, and Drew McFreedy sometimes gets too excited in there and rushes in head first and gets knocked out. So I'm going to go with Pokum, just to see if he could actually deliver. Either way, either one of these guys loses, I don't see him staying in the UFC for long. So yeah. Then we got Matt Hughes versus Matt Serra. I mean, personally, I kind of like Serra a little bit more than Hughes. I'd want him to win, for that reason. But then again, I think Matt Hughes is a better fighter than Matt Serra. And Matt Serra, I think, is in a weight class above where he should be. I think he should be at 155. Where he's more effective, and he has less of a reach disadvantage there than he does at 170, where he's really small. So yeah, I'm kind of pulling in my heartstrings for Matt here, Matt Serra. Can't just say Matt. And Matt Hughes, though, I mean, if this is his last fight, it'd be cool if he won that. If this is his last fight, I wouldn't mind if he went out with a win. But otherwise, I wish Serra would win, but I think Hughes will win. And hopefully, if Hughes does win, he calls it quits. So yeah, I'm picking Hughes. I went with decision. I don't think he's going to finish Serra. I think it's just going to be, a lot of Sarah being outmatched by Hughes' wrestling. Alright, then we got the big main event. Rashad Evans versus Lyoto Machida. And that's a hard one to call. But, you know, it's kind of funny how this has been set up for Machida, because it seems like there were so many, you know, people were talking for so long about how Dana's trying to keep Machida out of a title picture, because if he wins it, you know, he's not really a person that people could get behind or whatever as champ. You know, he can't draw the ratings or whatever. But I like Machida's road to the title. I mean, the guy, he just gave it his all, and everything fell in place for him, because Rampage didn't take up that fight that Dana offered him against Evans. And if even if Keith Jardine won, I don't think he would have fought Evans. So, I mean, it was almost perfectly in place, you know, for Machida to step up and take this fight. Everything just fell into place. And it's almost like it's destiny. I think Machida's going to win, because I think Rashad, he's recently doing like what Machida does. And then, you know, if you have to pick who's going to win a fight, and they're both doing the same kind of stick 'em, you know, punching and avoiding, you got to look at the master of it, and Machida's the master. Evans is the student to it. Machida's been doing a lot longer than Evans. And on the ground, I mean, I think this is kind of a stalemate, because Machida has good jiu-jitsu and Evans has good wrestling. So, I'm going to give it to Lyoto. Yeah. I think Machida will do it. Hopefully he wins. And after that, I mean, I'd like to see him fight Rampage. I think that'd be a really good fight. I think he'd win that too, personally. If he wins, I mean, I don't see anyone really stopping him for a while. Unless, maybe if Anderson moved up again, 205. Which he probably will. But he probably won't fight him, though, because they're friends. So, who knows? But that'd be a cool fight. So yeah, those are my predictions. UFC 98, pretty good card. Check it out if you want. I'm going to be watching definitely. I'll talk to you later. Bye.